I'm not going to talk very loud, so hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully I'm able to put captions on this or something. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:22, and this is the official first episode and birth of Confessions of an Indie Author. I don't know that it's probably what I'll call the series. I'm a planner. I'm very much the person who does the research. I look up all the YouTube videos on how to do whatever it is that I'm trying to do. And this is one of those things that, in retrospect, in the long run, it's really not that big of a deal. Which is kind of the one thought that's giving me comfort right now. Because, and I highly recommend not doing this if you're an indie author. I purchased my ISBNs from Bowker, like you do in the US. I have a beef with that, but that's okay. That's another video. And I got my very first one on the list. I got all the metadata filled out for my first book, for A Change of Tide, which if I'm figured out and I'm real fancy, I'll put like a little image right here. If it's just my hand, then I didn't figure out how to do it. Maybe I'll YouTube that too. I got all the metadata figured out. I got it all updated into KDP. Super stoked about it. What I did not realize, and what I'm sure many seasoned authors were like, yeah, well, duh, Donica, was that ordering a proof copy on Amazon and ordering a proof copy on Barnes & Noble are two completely different things. We'll skip the long version of Barnes & Noble taking 3 weeks to review my submission. In retrospect, I wish I'd never hit submit in the first place, but I also kind of wish that they had just denied it, because then I still would have been able to make changes. But the short version is they did eventually approve the submission, and I did not realize when I submitted it that was like, oh, this is your final copy. You will not be able to make any changes to this. I also did not realize that when you submit it, you tie your ISBN number to that copy. I also did not realize that when you delete that book and then you go in to your recently deleted and you delete it again, I can hear the other indie authors groaning. You basically sever your entire control over the book. But the ISBN is still connected to that book. Even though you can't find it in the system, even though nothing shows up with it, even though, as far as you can tell, the book doesn't even exist. So, I've emailed Barnes & Noble. I have my fingers crossed that I am not the first indie author to make this particular mistake. That they have a big red undo button somewhere on the other side, whether that is to undo my deleting the book, which I admit I'm not holding my breath for that one, or they have some way of being like, yes, we can delete it, so like it never existed in the system, and untie the ISBN from anything there, so I can still use it. But I have made peace, mostly, with the thought that I might have to have an ISBN that is just connected to nothing, and go in and change the metadata, which I don't even know if I can do that. Change all the metadata and line up all of the print copies so that when you eventually get said book that I hopefully was able to put up on the screen over here, it has a completely different ISBN number. I bought the 10-pack, and this might be a school of hard knocks that I got too excited, and I should have reviewed my notes, and I thought I knew what I was doing. Famous last words. So I'll keep you updated, but as of right now, not really sure what's going to happen. I've spent a lot of time crying over this, a lot of time stressing over this, and I'm probably not done with either of those, but I'm hoping, just repeating to myself, that in 5 years, this is not going to make a difference. Sure, it's going to suck initially to have paid as much money as I paid for those 10 ISBN numbers and to have one that is completely moot. But it's also really important to me that all of my print copies of my book are tied to the same ISBN, that they all come back to the same place. I don't want to have one ISBN with one and one ISBN with another. It's the same book. So that's all for now. I'll keep you updated. So we had all the drama about messing up my ISBNs, and I never updated you on what happened. How did that go? So, it's February 26th. So it's been like, what? Over a month since my drama with the ISBNs. So how did I eventually fix it? I scrapped the first ISBN, but it's okay. So we have an ISBN now. There she is in all of her glory. This is exactly what they will look like. If you order from Barnes & Noble, that's what it's going to look like.